What is up? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video, I talk about my brand new business that is completely passive. I spent a whole 4 hours and it's still making money. You're gonna see the results of that and how it's doing, as well as you're gonna find out more or less the direction of this channel moving forward. A lot of people have been asking me like, what the heck do you got going on? You got a bunch of shit going on. What is going on? That's what you're gonna find out. And also, if you stick till the end, you're gonna see my record-breaking day at this brand new business. And if you haven't checked out my community tab, I do encourage you to do so. I am sharing some of my biggest business aha moments. There are certainly lessons that you'll wanna know, lessons that help me make millions of dollars. So I think you're gonna be excited about that. I'm certainly fired up about that. Let's do this. All right, so in this video, I'm gonna talk a lot more about my favorite side hustle of the year thus far, how I took it for granted and I didn't even pay attention to it, what lessons I can share with you about it. And I'm also gonna talk about the future direction of this channel in general. As I pay attention to the comments, I pay attention to everything. And so let's just get to it. First off, obviously, if you have any desire to want to learn more about this, my email is below in case you want something more personalized or some sort of direction as to how to go about it. But first things first, what is that side hustle and why am I so excited about it? Let's go and talk about the side hustle itself. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of the side hustle. I've been talking about this for days on end, but it is Amazon influencer. And you can see my chart right back here. As somebody pointed out, we had a freaking snitch earlier saying, oh, you're not supposed to be sharing your influencer earnings and all that shit. Yeah, well, I don't really give a shit. So here's what it comes down to. Snitches get stitches. That's going to be the theme of the video. Snitches get stitches. Nowhere does it really say in too much detail whether or not you're allowed to share what you make per day, but I'm going to stay on the side of being more cautious just because I'm starting to make some good money. And while that's terrific, let's talk about how you can make good money and the obstacles that you might have getting into this, namely being getting the account. That's been the biggest email that I see that I get on a daily basis is people are stuck at getting the account and not necessarily getting approved because there's technically two phases. And again, I'll break this down in the future so you kind of have a better understanding. But today I kind of want to just talk about the future direction and how this side hustle is one that you cannot sleep on. So phase one is getting approved with a social media account. It's fairly easy. It's not necessarily determined by the number of followers you have. It's more or less determined by a couple other things. So even if you have a social media account that doesn't seem to have that many followers, you still want to try and submit it. Chances are you could get approved. There's no telling what the bot looks for during the phase one approval. Then comes phase two. During phase two, it's a little bit more complicated. You do have to submit 3 videos that you propose to start to create videos like on the platform so that people can see what you have to say about the products, right? And if you still have no idea what this is, then I'll explain it in another video. This is more or less meant to be not for a noob, but somebody that's been contemplating getting into this particular business. So phase two is the difficult part to get approved. A lot of people have submitted these videos and then 3 strikes, they're out. You have no chance of getting into the program with that particular sign up ID again, or the social media account that is attached to that sign up ID. So say for example, you have a TikTok account that's your personal TikTok account, you submitted that went through, you submit 3 videos and then you're out and you use the email decisionmaker@gmail.com. You can no longer apply with that TikTok account and that email address. You got to start from scratch. So phase two is the one that people are having a huge amount of difficulty getting in. They keep submitting these videos. Amazon says they're not sufficient enough, so they remake them. And if you submit the set of 3 videos 3 times and they disapprove them, you can no longer use that again. So keep that in mind. Those are the 2 areas that most people are having trouble getting into this program. The rest of it is the easiest thing I've ever seen. And I am just telling you that, just having all the experience that I have, it is fucking nuts, people. It is nuts how simple and easy it is to make the videos and to make money on this platform. So here you can see that I start off the month pretty hot. This is the month of May, so you're kind of seeing as we've gone along. And before I even start talking about the month of May, I'm going to tell you how many hours I put into making this money all of May and before May in total work. It was 4 hours in total work of me making videos, uploading videos, and doing some other things, not paying attention to anything, just submitting them. And it turns out I was looking at the wrong chart. Yeah, I admit I do stupid shit all the time. That's just the way I am. So someone was gracious enough to point out to me that I was looking at the wrong chart. Lo and behold, I look at the right chart and I nearly shit my pants at how much money I was making. So easily, so passively, without having done anything but 4 hours work. This is in total what I've done for the month of May thus far, which is 4 hours work. And you can see right here, here's the numbers from the 1st of May to the 14th of May. This should be the 14th because we're not, unless I'm working with a time machine here, then you should not be able to see that. But here we go. This is what's happened from those dates. And you'll notice that 967 items have been shipped, 26 returns, $24,000 in revenue, $800 in total money that I will collect from Amazon. That will be the amount of money that I made as of right now. So I can actually move this out to the 15th because it's going to show me the data that I collected on the 15th. So let's take a look at what I've done to that day. And here it is, $857. All done, which is 4 hours work. So where did I go wrong with this? Well, I was looking at the wrong chart, so I made the assumption that I had made shit. So I stopped working. I did the 4 hours work and I was done. As soon as I saw my results, I began to put a more immense amount of work. So what I've been doing lately is I've been doing 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So last week I did this for 10 hours. This week so far, I've done it for about 4 hours, and I'll probably finish off 10 by the end of the week. And I'm going to continue to do that and see where this goes. If you have had any doubt to trying to get into this, I'm telling you, you got to toss that out the door. It is, again, the easiest way that I've ever seen to make money online. It's ridiculous. I've been around the block for a long time. Like, you remember when we used to do that? I used to play video games with pixels, people, with fucking pixels. I used to play with Mario's with pixels. So that's how old I am. And that's pretty much, I've been in the internet since that day, since I was playing with pixels. So I cannot recommend another strategy better than this. And therefore, where am I going now, having discovered this? Well, I've kind of come to realize that my channel in general has taken a different direction. A lot of people don't understand what direction. And that is just, I am constantly chasing the shiny object, right? So I am just as guilty of it as you are. The only difference is that I have an entire team behind me that pretty much does what I say. And even though it seems like sometimes I don't have my shit together, I get shit done by handing it off to my team and then allowing them to do it based off of my direction. So I'm able to just jump in and out of several businesses, and I like to put my money where my mouth is. I like to test shit out and see how it works. And then I cut and prune things that I know aren't gonna work or that don't show any promise. Maybe they don't match my personality. Maybe they're just not all they're cut out to be. Maybe they require a lot more work. And I move on to the next, and I keep going and moving forward, and then keeping the businesses that are doing quite well. So I do have quite a few that do that, and I do have an excellent team that I've trained and managed that are in the Philippines that do most of the work for me. So I do the heavy lifting in the beginning. They continue to do the heavy lifting at the end. As a result, what I've decided to do with this channel is continue to do more experiments like this where you guys see live and in person how my business is progressing throughout time, and or just instead of showing you theoretical side hustles, which I still will do, and I'll act as a reporter to show you what side hustles there are out there, I'm also going to execute those side hustles. So I'll stop doing things the lazy way, which is filming on my iPhone with this fucking cap and not brushing my hair and not bringing out my camera. Like, I even forgot to turn my light on. So I didn't even turn my light on here. That's just how like lazy. I guess it looked better the other way, but that's how lazy I am. I'm just filming with this hat. It's blocking everything. I'm going to start to bring out the camera, do the things that I used to do, fix the background up, all that crap. And I'm pretty much back and ready to go. Sometimes YouTube burns you out, and sometimes you just feel like shooting from the hip like I'm doing right now. So I got a lot of things in the plan for moving forward and showing you guys how I think about these processes and how I put theoretical ideas into play and then create money out of those theoretical ideas. Like I said, sometimes I get bored of them and I don't want to deal with them anymore, and I just don't feel like I have the personality for it. So I cut them loose and move on to the next. And there's a bunch that I do have that make a good deal of money. There's a lot that could be better just because sometimes I just check out. And there's a lot yet to be discovered. So again, moving forward, it's going to be all about side hustles and how you can capitalize on those side hustles and how I would put them into play and do make money. So I hope to pick at least 12 side hustles and month by month cover each of those, as well as cover theoretical ones that are happening out there that you could do. So that's kind of where this channel is going. Just for those of you that have reached out and have wondered, what the hell am I doing? This is what I'm doing. But other than that, again, my email is below in case you want to talk about a problem you have with this or had to automate the whole thing. I've got a guy that automates the whole process. It does cost some money. It's like the full-on automation program, so it's quite expensive, but you don't have to do anything. You let him handle all the heavy lifting. Other than that, questions, comments, go below. I always personally answer those. And also check out my community tab. I'm starting to post on there every day, so it's kind of more or less like a blog with business lessons. So I'll mention that at the beginning of the next video. Other than that, peace out.